But also there's a lot of like jumping and hopping around that happens. So we're going to be doing a little bit of jumping and hopping around in a workouty type of way. So not scary. It'll be fun. It'll be sweaty, but let's get started in child's pose so we can get moving. And then if you are on the fence about doing our access training that starts May 20th that myself and Lisa Opplinger from the Harrisburg studio are leading, we've got a good chunk of people signed up already. There's another chunk of people that are working on getting all of their payment plans and everything figured out. There's still space though. So if you're interested and you have any questions at all, feel free to ask me after class. I live for that program and would love to talk about it. So spread out your fingers nice and wide in your child's pose and just get settled back into your hips. Get connected to the floor and into what's happening right here and right now in this moment. Take a deep breath in and fill yourself all the way up. Then exhale everything out. Big breath in, fill up, expand your lungs, empty it out. One more like that, fill up all the way. Empty all the way. And start to build your Ujjayi breath, really on purpose about it, right from child's pose. The long inhale with a pause when you're full, long exhale and a pause when you're empty. Downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back, and you can move around any way that you want in the down dog. Just take stock of where things are this evening. Maybe you've got your attention on something that feels tight or stiff, or something that feels like it's totally ready to go right out of the gate. Walk your feet up to your hands, hang in ragdoll. So pull the pit of your belly way in and up. Keep the breath going. It sounds good already, but add more breath. Really purposeful so that you can push and move forward with the rhythm of the breath and start to sync up with the rhythm of everyone practicing around you. Press into your feet, rise all the way up to standing. Reach through your fingertips, thumbs to heart center. Set your intention for practice. Anything you want, pick something simple that you can focus on. And we'll send out all those intentions with 3 ohms. Take a deep breath in. Inhale, reach up, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, tricep pull if you've got weights. High push up and pause. Right knee to right elbow. Left knee to left elbow. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breath in together. Big exhale. Yes, very purposeful. Breath in. Push the air out. Last one, fill up. Empty all the air out. Feet to hands. Halfway lift, tricep pull. Fold down. Extended mountain, rise all the way up. Stretch, forward fold. Halfway lift, tricep pull. High plank. Knee tap, low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 big breaths. In. Push the air out. Man, that sounds good. Breath in. Empty out. Last one. Fill all the way. Empty to the pit of your belly. Look forward and move. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Bow down. Extended mountain. Rise up and go back on this one. Stretch back. Fold. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. High plank. Fingertips in the mat. Knee tap. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breath in together. Push the air out. You're really driving the heat. Breath in. Breath out. Last one. Get empty. Spring forward. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold down. Extended mountain. Rise up. Press your feet into the mat. Fold. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. High plank. Knee tap on the right. Knee tap on the left, low plank, upward facing, downward facing. Breath in together. Big exhale. Number 2, breathe in, air back out. Last one. Full exhale. Spring forward. Halfway lift with your weights. Fold down. One more, Sunny. Rise up and go back. Stretch all the way. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. High push up. Knee tap. Knee tap. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breath in. Big exhale. Breathe in. Get empty. Last one, fill up. Empty all the air out. Feet to hands. Halfway lift, tricep pull. Fold down. Chair pose. Sit way back in your chair. Way back in your heels. Everyone held their breath like they were waiting for something to happen. Start breathing in the chair pose. I know. So you've got 2 options here in your chair pose. You can do regular squats, nice and deep, and then back up to chair, or you can do jump squats where you jump and tuck your knees in. Tuck your knees in. Tuck your knees in. Go for 5, your choice. 4, 3, 2, 1. Fold. Halfway lift, tricep pull. High push up. You got it. Knee tap on the right. Knee tap on the left. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side warrior 1. Step through. Rise all the way up to your fingertips. Chaturanga. Hands to the mat. Inhale up. Exhale down. Left side warrior 1. Step, press, stretch all the way up. Chaturanga. Hands to the floor. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Take 1 breath in. Big exhale. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. Fold down. Chair pose. So you're either doing 5 jump tucks or 5 squats. Go for 5. 4. You got it. 3, 2, 1. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. High push up. I know. Knee tap on the right. Knee tap on the left. Low push up. Upward facing. Downward facing. Right side warrior 1. Step through. Stretch all the way up. Chaturanga. Hands to the mat. Inhale up. Exhale down. Left side. Breath is super important. Inhale as you reach up. Exhale as you go down. Chaturanga. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Breath in. Big breath out. Feet to hands. You got this. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. Fold down. Sit down for chair. Knees into your chest or squats. 5, 4, 3. Keep breathing. 2, 1. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. High push up. We're getting that cardio in. Knee tap and knee tap. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side warrior 1. A deep lunge in your front leg. Low push up. Hands to the mat. Inhale up. Exhale down. Left side. Step. Long, slow inhale all the way up. Chaturanga on your exhale. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. Clear it all out. Move forward. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. Fold down. Chair pose. Squat deep. Go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Tricep pull with those weights. High push up. Knee tap. Knee tap. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side warrior 1. Step and take your gaze up to the ceiling. Chaturanga. Upward. Downward facing. Left side. Step and a long slow inhale all the way up. Chaturanga. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Oh. Holy moly. Hello. Welcome to Yoga Ignite. Send your right leg up to the sky. Bend your knee and open your hip. Stay here or flip your dog. So here's your opportunity to catch up with your breath. If it got short because of those squats or those tuck jumps, yeah, now's the time for that. Cactus arm or wheel if that's there for you. Yes, beautiful. Flip back over side plank. Left hand straight up. You can have a weight in that top hand if you want, or open palm. Add more breath. Float your top leg up. It can be an inch off the ground or up higher off the ground, up to you, and then flex both of your ankles. You'll lift and lower that top leg for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Send your left leg up to the sky. Bend your knee and open your hip. Flip your dog. Then invite the breath in. Land in your feet, land in your fingertips. Invite the breath in to fill up all of the space you've already made. Yes, some of you are already there with the cactus arm. Create that space. Flip back over, side plank. You've got it. And then you create however you want that bottom leg to be. It can be with your knee down. It can be with the leg long and straight. And then you decide how high up you're lifting your top leg and flex the ankle for the control. Yes. Lift and lower. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Low push-up. Big breath in up dog. Let it out and down dog. Take a long breath in. Sigh it out. Good. Breath number 2. And sigh. Last one. Clear it out. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. Fold down. Chair pose. Just one chair. Squat down and reach. Fold. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. High plank. Knee taps on the right and on the left. Low plank. Upward facing. Downward facing, right side crescent lunge. Step right through. So the breath is really the tool that becomes super important when your heart is starting to race and when it's like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed. I'm not really, right back to the breath. Lunge deeper in your front leg. Yes. Stay right here and breathe. I got you. We're going to skip the knee dips here, but I want you to catch up with your breath. Some of you can lunge deeper, so your front thigh's parallel with your mat. Yeah. And then balance that by pressing your back thigh up to the ceiling. Good. Hands to heart center, twist right. Anchor your elbow, open your arms. Then bring breath in here. Steady and rhythmic, that 4-part breath. Full inhale and a pause. Full exhale and a pause. Beautiful. One more inhale together. Stay for the whole exhale. Twist. Warrior 2. Face the opposite way. Get settled in Warrior 2. Yeah, you need that awakening. You need that, whoa, okay, I'm in the space right out of the gate. Extended side angle. Bring your front elbow to your front thigh or fingertips down by your front arch. Pause right here. A long stretch from your top arm all the way to your back foot. Some of you are already headed to that bind, and that's fine. Just go for that long line on the left side of your body. Then half bind or full. And also give you the option to reach both of your arms straight forward, past the front edge of your mat. You can do that option as well. One more breath together. High to low push-up you go. Big breath in up dog. Fill up. Downward facing dog. Left side crescent lunge. Step through. And again, you settle. Use the breath. Use the breath to slow your heart down. Your breath to bring your focus back into the space. Hands way up to the ceiling. Yeah, I love all these awake fingertips. Keep the fingers awake. Then come a little deeper into your lunge. You can stay stable while you're deeper if you've got the center of your front heel down instead of trying to grip with your front toes. Yes, hands to heart, twist left. So the weight might shift the way that you're looking and your big toe mount comes off the ground in the front. Plug it back into the floor and open your arms. Steady breath, big and full and no rush. So even though work is happening, there's a sense of ease as well. One more breath in. Stay for the exhale. Twist. Warrior two. Both of your legs doing an equal amount of work. So deep lunge in the front leg and then a long, powerful line through your back leg. Keep both of those active, extended side angle. Start with the line, top fingertips to the edge of your back foot. Pull those 2 points apart. Keep that line, then add the bind or reaching both of the arms in the front edge of your mat. So you may need to stay up a little higher if you're reaching both arms so that you can keep the integrity in your bottom side waist. Yes, Ashley, there you go. Beautiful. One more breath wherever you are. Chaturanga. Big breath in up dog. Let it out and down dog. Full breath in together. Clear it out. Yeah, breath in, breath out. One more, fill. Push all the air back out. Jump to the head of your mat. Halfway lift, tricep pull. Fold down. Chair pose and stay. Way down into it. Sit back on your heels and lift your toes up off the floor. Yeah, get powerful in your feet. Keep the toes lifted. Hands to heart. Twist right. Open your arms. Half bind or full bind. Half bind, top arm around your back. Bottom arm between your knees and underneath your left thigh. Yeah, so it may take squatting a little bit deeper to get that full bind or tipping the hips back. Like there's a sweet spot where you catch the fingertips. One more breath. Forward fold. Take your first 2 fingers around your big toes. Back into the breath. Be really purposeful about it. It takes work to stick with that breath. It's easy to do the breath when you're like just in the beginning of the practice or just at the end and there's not as much work happening. It takes work to maintain that rhythm. Crow pose from the head of your mat. Crow from the head of your mat. Be methodical about the way that you place your fingertips nice and wide, where you put your knees on the backs of your triceps, and lots of breath. Big and full. Without a second thought, shoot your legs back, chaturanga. Yeah, whether it's a belly flop or it's just one leg, like you're doing that work. Upward facing to downward facing dog. Good, breathe in. Clear it out. Move forward. Halfway lift, tricep pull. Fold down. Chair pose and stay. Way down into it. Let the breath help you do the work. So work happens and then breath balances it. Toes light and lifted. 4 corners of both feet in the ground. Hands to heart, twist left. Spread your arms apart. Then you know the stage where you want to go. The half bind, the full bind. A lot of you are taking Bird of Paradise. You're more than welcome to take that. Set your gaze and be right there with it. Gaze at that one point. One more breath. Forward fold. Gorilla, step on your palms. Toes all the way up to your wrists. Each time you fold, each time there's a pause in the practice, that's your opportunity. Let the heart rate slow down. Let the breath pick back up. Tailbone up to the ceiling. Crow number 2 from the head of your mat, because you know that you're going to shoot your leg back or legs back at the end of the crow. It's going to be awesome, and you're not even going to worry about it. You're close enough to the ground that you'll just shoot back and see what there is to see. Eyes on one spot. You got it. Bring the inner edges of your feet together. Yes, Sarah. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Shoot your legs back. Yes. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Like you can't let your mind have a say about it. You just have to do it and see what the result is. Take a deep breath in. Clear it out. 2 more. Breathe in. Get empty. Last one. Empty it out. Move forward. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. Fold down. Rise up to standing. Eagle pose. Right side. Right arm under. Right leg over. It is a sweaty one in here tonight, folks. Squat down deep in your hips. Add more breath. Now is when the work really starts, where things are sweaty and warmed up and there's still the work of the breath. Keep your arms bound. Take airplane with your legs. Press that right foot straight back behind you. Straight back. Straighten out your top leg enough that you have to squeeze the leg muscle to the bone. Then take full airplane. Reach your arms straight back. Press your chest past the front edge of your mat. Yes. Slow and controlled. Take half moon. Left hand to the ground or the block. Right hand straight up to the sky. Nice transitions. Flex your lifted ankle a lot to help lighten the load of your lifted leg. There you go, Rob. You've got one more breath here. Both feet to the mat. Eagle pose, left side, left arm under, left leg over. There are a lot of like, whoo, okay, facial expressions happening right now. Squat down in the chair. That's where you want to be. That's where shift happens. Not where you're cool as a cucumber and composed. Keep your arms wrapped. Take airplane with your legs. Shift happens when there's no room for you to keep your composure. Press through your lifted foot straight back behind you. Full airplane. Shift happens when you're not ready for it, when you've got nothing else left to give, and then there's something on the other side of that. Half moon, open up. Nice. So a lot of you have been working on that transition for a while, and now I'm going to say next time you're on your mat working that transition, have breath while you're transitioning. Light and lifted. One more breath. Both feet to the mat. Eagle pose, right side, second set. You got it. A lot of you are bumping up against something right now. Your face is saying that your brain is making a thing about what's happening right now. Just come back down into your body where things are more simple. Warrior 3, you're taking poses one at a time. Reach your arms straight forward, right foot straight back. Breathe right here. All you're doing, the Warrior 3, the breath. Bring your hands to the top of your thigh. Walk your hands down your leg for standing split. Slow, controlled. They can make their way to the floor or stay on your standing ankle. So you might find that just one hand goes to the ankle and you play around with the balance there for a moment or two. Yeah, and then if you need to put both hands on the floor, do that. Lift your leg 2 inches higher. One more breath. Both feet to the floor. You guys are holding out on me. Your legs went way higher than 2 inches. Rise up to standing. Eagle pose left side. Yeah, there's like a little bit of a donkey kick that was happening too. It's good. Last little bit of effort. Squeeze into center. Lots of breath. Warrior 3. Smooth, fluid. You've got the muscle, the flexibility, the stamina. All of the pieces you need are already here. They're already happening. Hands to the top of your thigh. Walk your hands down to your ankle. Maybe to the floor. Yes. Lift that leg up to the ceiling. So the hip can be open and you can lift the leg higher or square the hips to the floor. Point the toes down towards the floor. One more breath. Both feet to the mat. I know. Rise up to standing. You got this. So standing bow, we'll just do standing bow, right side. So hand on the inside of your ankle, but I want you to stop and just pause right here. Hand on the ankle, arm up toward the ceiling. Start your breath right here. Just stay right in this spot. No tipping forward yet. Breath right here. Steady, fluid, and intentional. Start to tip forward. No rush. Create the balance point for you tonight, just right here. Okay, add more breath. Then start to tease the pose open a little bit. Shin further back, chest further forward, plenty of room for the breath. Good, switch sides. Same thing, hand on the inside of your ankle, just pause right there. Let yourself get settled in the standing foot. Let your breath get settled in your chest. Solid foundation. Tip forward. And you pause right there. Not pushing too hard or trying to make a full big expression just yet. Just right here with breath. Then come right up to the edge of it. Right up. Yes. Chest forward. Shin further back. Foot higher up. Both feet to the mat. Right side, second set. Do the same pieces, same stages, same pace, no rush. There's a time to like pick up the pace and build the cardio, get the heart rate pumping, and then time to slow it back down again. Both have work. They're just different types of work. Go all the way to the edges of the pose. Far enough out, far enough back that you run the risk of losing your balance. Switch. One more. Yeah, you can pause for a second. Both feet on the floor. Cool. Reset. Take the last one. I think that's really the magic of a lot of these poses. There could be a lot of fire and a lot of heat and a lot of excitement, or there could be a long open stretch, a big full expression, both feet to the floor. Tree pose, right side. Any variation of tree tonight, so you pick. It could be good old standard tree with your hands at heart center, and that's where you recollect and come back into the space. Add more breath. Like if you can't hear your neighbor breathing, breathe louder so that they come into the space with you. If you're practicing at home, the person outside your room can't hear your breathing, add more. One more inhale. Switch sides. Tree pose on the left. Same arm position or a different one, you pick. Steady 4-part breath. Important when you're having a come back to center pose, super important when you're doing a challenging pose. One more inhale, lift both feet to the floor. Come up to the head of your mat if you're not there already. Extended mountain, reach up to the ceiling, forward fold. Halfway lift, tricep pull, high push up, knee tap, low push up, upward facing dog, downward facing dog, right side triangle, step through. You can have your right hand on your shin or on your block on the outside of your shin. I always like to start on the highest setting on the block and work my way down so I know that, okay, this is the spot for today. This is where my hand needs to be for this particular pose right now. Press the outer edge of your back foot straight into the floor. Yes, L, even more than that, outer edge. Stay right where you are. Open up your chest toward the ceiling. Turn it into a back bend, but both feet stay firmly anchored in the ground. Nice, Tina. Press into your feet, rise up to standing. Side facing wide leg fold. Both feet to face the long edge of your mat. We'll do ninja lunges. Bend your right knee, sink into your right hip. Over into the left knee, into your left hip. So a lot of you are really familiar with the ninja lunges, and you can choose the pace at which you're going side to side. For those of you getting pretty close to the ground because your hips are pretty open at this point in practice, see if you can stay low as you go through the center. Instead of rising up through the center and going down on the other side, stay low. Nice, Kelly. Yeah, it might slow you down a little bit, but there's more hip articulation that can happen when you stay lower. Back and forth. A time or two, get yourself complete, and then come back to center. Rise all the way up to standing. Namaste, front facing fold or splits. It appears to be that we're in like a split season right now. So if that's not typically the pose that you pick, maybe it is one that you try on for a couple of classes. All right. Namaste folds, a little bit of softness to your knees. Splits, you've got a little bit of softness in your front knee, but then front toes up to the ceiling. Yes, breathe right here. Let your hamstrings open up. Let there be space for breath. A little bit of shaking happening. Great, stay right there. Twisting triangle or twisting split. It may take hand on a block or hand on the floor. Now, reconnect both of your feet to the floor. If one's taking most of the weight, balance that out. Take one more inhale. High to low push-up. Our favorite dismount from split to chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take one breath in. Clear it all out. Left side triangle. Step through. Feet first. Foundation first in the grounding poses. Well, really in every pose, but especially here in the grounding section. Choose the setting your block needs to be on. Outer edge of your back foot into the ground. Both feet wide awake. Now start to peel your chest open. The secret to back bends is a long spine and a stable foundation. So the more open you want to be, the more you have to press and connect your foundation to the ground. Rise all the way up. Side facing wide leg fold. Two options here, folks. You can interlace your fingers at your back and take the bind, or wide leg handstand hops. We'll get some more hopping in there in case you didn't have enough hopping already. So with the wide leg hops, it's fingers spread out super wide on the mat. And you can start by just leaning your weight into your palms. Yes, Roy. Those of you with the bind, you can play with tipping the weight into the front of your toes. Nice, Tina. And letting your heels get light on the mat. Even that little bit of work, yeah, it's just a little bit where you can feel the weight shift. You get comfortable with that weight shifting into the toes because that's the precursor to doing wide leg hops. Release your hands. Everybody rise up to standing. Namaste, front facing fold or splits. Breath got quiet. Come back to that. Take all the time you need to set up the split with your block, to set up your square hips in your namaste fold. Steady breath. Purposeful and intentional. Then both feet, an equal amount of work. Equally connected, the toes awake on both feet. Twisting triangle or twisting split. Yes, you got it. Foundation and open. Foundation and open. Take one more breath in. High to low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Seems like another good place for a sigh. Deep breath in, sigh it out. Yeah, number 2. One more, fill. Empty out. Roll out to a high plank. Now you've got 2 options here. You can stay in the high plank and just hold the high plank, or instead of doing mountain climbers, knees into your nose, you're going to do jumps. Jump and shoot your legs back. Jump in, shoot your legs back. Jump in. So we can get that into your practice. Go for 10, 9, 8, 7, belly in and up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down to the floor. For the love of all that is holy. Okay, locust pose. Reach your hands back by your hips. For this first one, keep the tops of your feet on the mat. Press them down into the floor. Tops of your feet into the floor. Lift your chest, lift your shoulders. Keep the feet connected to the floor. The more you connect them, the more space you make for your low back. So it's long legs, as long as they can go. Big inhale. Lower down. Rock your hips left and right. Locust number 2, hands can go at your low back, or you can keep them by your hips. Tops of the feet in the floor to start. Rise up. Yes, and if you lift your feet, make it like 1 inch, like 2 inches, barely off of your mat. Beautiful. That's where your body gets the opportunity to be long, super long. Lower down, hip side to side. Floor bow number 1 of 2. You can grab one ankle or both. You got it, folks. Rise up. Floor bow. Now's the time for breath. When we're in the igniting portion of the Ignite class, that's where breath needs to happen. Feet up to the ceiling. Press. Lower down. Take it side to side. Floor bow number 2. Switch legs or grab both. Rise up. Yes. Get your brain out of the way. Let your body do the work. You've been building to the back bends all practice. You are totally ready to open up. Lower down. Side to side. Upward facing dog. Rise up off your mat. Downward facing dog. Look between your hands. Jump through to sit. Yes. Down onto your back. Bridge pose. Grab your block if you like using the block in the bridge pose, and then rise up. So hands bound underneath you or cactus arms. Use that arm position to tuck your shoulder heads underneath you. More breath. Yes, big and full. One more inhale. Lower down, knees side to side. Move the block for the second bridge. Rise up. Bridge pose. Get settled down in foundation. Shoulders straight back into the mat. Feet straight down into the floor. Bring your right knee into your chest. Press your right foot up to the sky. You can stick with a long straight leg or pulse your hips up to the ceiling. Go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch legs. Left knee in, left leg up. Straight or pulse up with the hips. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Knees side to side. Keep the low back spacious. All right, yogis, wheel pose. Wheel pose. It's time. Tuck your fingertips under your shoulders. Lift up and away from the mat. Yes. Yes. And if you've never tried staying up for more than one wheel pose, maybe tonight's the night for that. For the rest of you, tuck your chin and come down. Breathe in. Ooh, lots of stays. Breathe out. Number 2, bridge your wheel, press up, go up. Nice, Rob. Yeah, big toe mount straight in the floor. Good, Amy. Tuck your chin and come down. Breath in. Breath out. Number 3, rise up. You got it, Aaron. Squeeze your inner thighs together more. Yes, beautiful. Make your way down. Breath in. Breath out. Number 4, press, lift, go. A lot of you are staying up. What's next? Eyes on one point, a hand in the air. Yes, a leg in the air. Make your way down. Breath in. Breath out. Number 5, only 2 more. Got this. You've got it. It's not that you're tired. There's not a story. Your body's ready. Come on down. Nice, Kelly. Breath in. Breath out. Last one. Last big pose. Rise up. Big back bend. Stay for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Supta Baddha Konasana. Good work. Yeah, a sigh, a big exhale, a mouth noise. Let that come out. We're up to big things in here tonight. Happy baby or dead bug. Soles of the feet up to the sky. So you can grab either the inside or outside edge of your feet or the backs of your thighs. Soles of the feet, nice and broad. Hug your knees into your chest. Give them a squeeze. Rock forward and back. Make your way to a high plank position. High plank. Shoulders stacked on top of your wrists. Both of your feet wide awake, where your heels can reach straight back behind you. Come down to forearm plank. You can readjust your feet if you need to. Long body. Pull the pit of the belly in and up. In your forearm plank, you're going to do what looks like dolphin instead of downward facing dog. So you just lift your hips and press back. Arms stay right where they are. Forearm plank. Hips up and back into dolphin. Forearm plank. Hips up and back into dolphin. Go for 10, 9, 8, 7. I know. 6, 5. You've got this. 4, 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog. Ugh. Yes, press up and back. Press your chest back towards your thighs. Right side half pigeon. If you want to take the pose on your back, that's an option. Get settled. Forehead on stacked fists or on the block. Yeah, give it a place to rest. So it takes all of that work, all of that effort from the beginning of the practice to clear the space for these poses to be possible. I want you to be in a headspace by the time you get to the hip openers that you're like, I have almost nothing left. When there's almost nothing left, that's where new things start to get created. Not a little bit of space, like a transformational amount of space. Add more breath. When you've got nothing left to give, that's when the space opens up. A few more breaths in half pigeon. Stay or take king pigeon. You'll bend your back knee and grab a hold of the ankle or your foot. Steady breath. Downward facing dog, shake it out. Left side, half pigeon. An intentional setup with whatever part of your body is touching the floor. Yeah, like you've got nothing left. And here you are, still doing the work. It's a lot easier to only show up for exactly the amount you think you can tolerate and then cutting out and leaving right after that. That's not what we're up to here. I want you to start to get uncomfortable or get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Get comfortable with the idea of, I don't know if I have a little bit more. We'll have to find out. This day was exhausting. I don't know if I have all of it to get all the way to the end. And you show up anyway and do the work. Steady breath. Stay in half pigeon or take king pigeon. One side's usually easier than the other, so just take it exactly as it is instead of trying to make it a mirror of the other side. Downward facing dog, shake it out. Frog pose. You've got plenty of space to face the direction that you need to set up your frog. I'm always a big fan of having one knee on the mat and one knee off the mat on a towel or a shirt or something that can slide out a little bit. Wall space if you like it on your back. Once you've got yourself situated, start to settle into stillness. Stillness, steady breath, this sense of being settled, of being in a clear space that you've done the work to create. A good bit of you can flex your ankles so your toes go straight out. Yeah, straight to the left and straight to the right. Let the edges of your feet touch the surface they're touching. Add more breath. You're almost there, almost to the end of your practice. Make the breath strong all the way through. Toes stay awake. Focus is awake, right on one point with your gaze. There's a good bit of you who have not heard this story before, and if you have, I'm sorry, I'm telling the story again about frog pose, but when I went to my Baptiste level 1 training, we had a practice in the morning that was about 3 hours long, and then a practice in the evening that was like 2 to 3 hours long, which sounds like a crap ton of yoga, and it is. But the evening classes were always more like hip opener and seated work instead of like the power vinyasa that we normally do. So we were in frog pose in this first hip opener class. And then Baron decided to read a chapter out of a book, and like the whole chapter. So we were in frog pose for like a solid 45 minutes. And 5 minutes in, I was like, I am definitely at my max. I need to come out of this pose. And everybody stayed because the room was so tightly packed that you couldn't get out of the pose without headbutting the person in front of you in their butt. So it was like, okay, well, I guess I'll stay. 10 minutes goes. I'm like, I am going to die. I cannot possibly stay in this pose any longer than 10 minutes, 15, 20. I've been lower to the ground. I was never low to the ground like I was in this frog pose. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to get out after he calls the end of this pose. And still we stayed. And I realized that, yes, the hips are just going to keep opening up and you stay. And it can be an intense sensation and you stay. But it's really the mental piece of your brain saying, you can't do this. You're not this flexible. You don't have this stamina. You don't have this much energy left. And then your body's like, actually, I'm all right. I'm feeling a lot of feels, but I'm all right. Stay right here and breathe. So my point is, not that you should do a 45-minute frog pose. I don't recommend that. But when you get to the pose where you're like, I just need to get out of this pose, stay like 1 or 2 breaths longer. Just like this frog. Stay a couple breaths longer than your brain is saying you're capable of staying in the frog pose. Now, before you come out, those of you facing the floor, you're going to army crawl forward until your hips touch and then bring your legs together. Those of you on the wall, you'll heel toe your feet together on the wall or use your hands to pull your knees together. Yeah. Make your way back onto your mat. Seated single leg extension. Right leg out, left heel in. Then you've got the option to either fold straight over the leg or take the side bend and stretch out your side waist. Take your pose, toes up to the ceiling, and now release is possible. So you did all the work, you did the opening of the hip openers, and now you're in release. Release in a way that wasn't possible when you walked into the studio. Switch legs. The fold or the side bend. Toes up to the ceiling. If your breath got away from you, that's fine. Just come back to it here. Especially because different things are folded now. There's pressure on different areas of the body. So explore where the breath has to go. Seated forward fold. Both legs straight out. At least a little bit of a bend to both of your knees and then hinge forward. Some of you like having straps and blocks in front of your feet. That's a great tool to use. Use that. Yeah, because after all of that hard work, when you get to the seated fold, it's like, oh, cool, I can just melt forward. Yeah, even if you're not super flexible, there's a melting quality to it. One more breath here. Stay for the exhale, melt all the way down. Then tabletop or reverse plank. Plant your palms behind your hips. Fingertips face the front edge of your mat. Rise up. Squeeze the inner thighs together. That pulling into center line, still present here. Feet connected to the floor and awake. Foundation. One more breath in. Lower down. Fish pose. Block between your shoulder blades or hands tucked under your hips. Personally, after all that jumping around and all that shoulder work, I'd say block is probably a really good way to go. Then on purpose choice with the feet, Supta Baddha legs, pointed toes, maybe bent knees feels like a good fit. Choose the one that works best. Eyes stay open. Stay right on your mat, right in the space with everybody else. Take a full breath in. Exhale it out. Good. One more of those. Full breath. Make your way onto your back. Untuck the hands. Move the block. Upside down time. So maybe that block just moves right underneath the back of your pelvis for waterfall. Maybe shoulder stands, the right pose for you. Headstands and handstands. Now's the time. So whichever thing you choose, you're choosing on purpose. You're making mindful choices about the decision of where your hands go, the decision of where your shoulders are going. Really on purpose, really intentional. Nice control. Yeah, add more breath. Shoulder stands, add enough breath that like your stomach fills up too. Like you get air and space around your organs while they're upside down. That's a real good way to clean them out and shake things up. Don't worry, you're the only one looking at your stomach. I know that's like a thing. Don't make it a thing. Headstands and handstands. A couple more breaths and then child's pose to reset. Shoulder stands, waterfalls. You can take pull-out pose. Steady breath all the way to the end. Plow to Deaf Yogi. Bend your knees, hug them around the sides of your head. Let your spine stretch out. Let it round towards the front edge of your mat. Slowly lower down, piece by piece. Hug your knees into your chest when you get there. Drop them over to the right. Twist and look left. Supine twist. Let it ring out your whole spine from your knee all the way up to the opposite shoulder. Supine twist the other way. It's like that last wringing out of the towel. Like you got most of the water out, you're wringing out that last little bit. Supta Baddha Konasana. You've got a cold eye towel somewhere around the vicinity of the corner of your mat. If you like putting that on in Supta Baddha, now's the time. Shavasana. Long legs, long arms. Take a long, slow breath in. Feel yourself all the way up. Exhale it out. Let your whole body, your whole being rest easy on your mat. Deepen your breath. Bring movement back into your hands and your feet. And plant your feet on the floor, rock onto your right side. With your eyes still closed, press down and rise up. Take a comfortable seat. Inhale, reach your hands overhead. Exhale, thumbs to heart center. We'll finish our practice together with 3 final ohms. Deep breath in. Deep breath in. Exhale it out. Thumb knuckles to forehead center. Thank you all so much. Showing up in the studio, showing up virtually, making the practice happen. Namaste. Good work, everybody. All right. Good stuff. Okay, if you borrowed blocks or anything, just leave those in the back of the studio so we can clean that stuff up. If you have any questions about access coming up, please let me know. And I will look forward to seeing all of you on Thursday. We are going to do some animal movement because it's been a hot minute since we've done animal movement. So if you haven't done that before, it's super fun. If you have done it before and you're like, yes, I'm super pumped about it, great. I'll see you on Thursday.